Thank you very much. So I think I'm a wrong man to start it because I don't speak good and I don't come to these forums to talk about the magnificent Mumbai and Hyderabad airport. My role is different because, some of you must be knowing about GOONJ, what we are trying to do. I'll not explain much because it says, I should explain that? Okay. So I'll tell you that also. So basically, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to remove the word charity, which is related to the second-hand material. So if you talk about old cloth, utensil, footwear, whatever, across the globe, we have always treated that as the first part of charity. I mean, the moment a disaster happens, we think that we have to give away our old clothes, utensil, footwear, whatever. Or it is a highly charitable subject-object. Years back, we started talking about cloth as a basic need, and which is just one part of our major work. And we said that you talk about three basic needs of humankind, and you say roti, kapda, makan, food, cloth, and shelter. And then cloth you remember when a disaster happens. So you need a flood to be flooded with clothes. Or cloth you give to people, when you have it and you don't need it. So it's like a charitable act. So we started asking people that if you talk about three basic needs, you say food, cloth, and shelter. And when you talk about development issues across the globe, you have 150 issues, from domestic violence to global warming today, from Millennium Development Goal to Sustainability Goal to Planning Commission, Niti Aayog, whatever you call it. You have all kinds of issues. How come clothing is not written as a subject? Which is such a basic need. I mean, all of us are not wearing clothes because we are feeling cold. We are wearing clothes because it is equal to dignity. Simple. We also ask that if earthquake is a disaster, flood is a disaster, how come winters are not a disaster? Why don't we have figures of people who die or suffer due to lack of clothing in winters? We call, in our work, GOONJ is only known for working on non-issues, as we say. And just to share, because now, since she said it, so let me share it in the next couple of minutes. In my journalism days in the city of Delhi, I had come from Dehradun, 1991. I was roaming around in Old Delhi and suddenly saw this rickshaw on which in Hindi it was written, Lavaris Lash Uthane Wala, which means a person who picks up unclaimed, abandoned dead bodies for the local police. Imagine, a person's full-time job was to pick up unclaimed, abandoned dead bodies. I spent about a week with him, early morning on the footpath outside LNJP hospital till late in the night, because Delhi has a sizable chunk of homeless people. A lot of people die, suffer, due to lack of various things. A few thousand people every year, we all know that. Two statements came up. I'm just trying to open up the subject on the non-issues and how so many things which we take for granted are actually not so easy for millions and millions of people in this country and in the world. So this person, whose name was Habib Bhai because he's no more, we lost him about a couple of years back. He actually said that in winters my work goes up, and many times I have so much of work that I cannot handle it. And to my utter surprise, every 24 hours in the range of 4 or 5 kilometers where he was able to take his rickshaw, he was picking up 10 to 12 dead bodies. And in the summers it used to be 4 to 5. He had a little daughter called Bano, who is a grown-up lady now, who gave the most shocking statement in Hindi. She said कि जब मुझे ठंड लगती है तो मैं लाश के साथ चिपक कर सो जाता हूँ. She says, when I feel cold, I hug the dead body and sleep. It does not trouble me. It does not turn around. You know why I'm talking about all these things? Because for us, clothing is not a subject. For us, winters are not a disaster because fortunately we are privileged people, for sure. We are one of those 10-15% people of the country or the world who have everything. Next door, there is a girl who sleeps with a dead body to keep herself warm. To be honest, I took many years to understand that, because I always thought that, dead bodies are cold. I mean, that's what we all know. I never understood the compulsion part in it. We started working on clothing with a simple mission. We said that A, we will make it a subject, an issue. B, we will challenge the way it is operating. So the moment a person like me and you say, I want to donate cloth, we will object, we'll try to correct you, and we'll say that, listen, boss, you don't donate, you discard. I mean, something which you have already used to the core, with what right do you call it a donation? Let's be thankful to every single person who is using our second-hand material, because that person respects it, that person gives it a second life. So we really need to be thankful to those people. And the second thing which all of us need to understand, because many of us believe in charity, because we don't understand the part of dignity. We understand dignity about ourselves. We don't understand dignity of the people who don't wear good clothes. Because unfortunately, clothes is the first visible sign of poverty. In this country, on the basis of clothing, you decide whether this person is a low class, middle class, upper class, whatever. We said if the biggest asset of village people in this country, I can talk about the world, but I'm talking about this country right now, is self-respect, is dignity. You do not find beggars in the villages. Begging is a city phenomena. So somewhere the charity has to stop, because there is no place in the world where charity is sustained and the development happened. So today, at a very large scale, we do this cloth for work, where we take up large-scale development activities. We make roads, we dig well, we clean ponds, we make bamboo bridges, very large-scale activities. And then people are rewarded with material. So cloth, utensil, footwear, say almost about 3,000 tons of material which we collect from the cities. We give it to people as a reward with a lot of dignity. It has also come up as a parallel currency. So a few years back, when we were chosen by NASA as one of the game-changing innovation, a very beautiful sentence came up which said that this is the genesis of a parallel economy, which is not cash-based but trash-based. So something which has been charitable, something where you always treated so-called poor people as beneficiary. In our game, they are the stakeholders, they are the doers, they are the givers. They give in a currency called labor. They are paid in a currency called material. It's a revival of India's strength of Shramdan, community labor. It's also the revival of traditional Indian barter economy with two new currencies, labor and material. That's what we are trying to do in a nutshell. But let me now speak what I wanted to. I didn't want to speak much about GOONJ. We are now about 600 people, 12 offices, big offices, 3,000 tons of material every year, which we deal with. We started with about 6 or 7 units of personal clothing. Today we deal with even old generator, furniture, whatever. Come to Sarita Vihar in Delhi and see that whenever you have time, or in many other cities. We work in parts of 22 states. Person who is coming from average middle class family of India, from Dehradun. As an institution, as an individual, we have also received the best possible recognitions and awards, including a Magsaysay, which we only used to study in history. Good to clap, but to be honest, after 18 years of this work, we are going through an absolute churning. And maybe that is the reason I accepted to come here, because it's important to talk to all of you. I always tell people that, with all these beautiful CV which I just presented of individual and of the organization, if before sleeping I put my hand here, honestly, and ask myself, show me 100 faces where the life is totally changed because of us, the answer, the honest answer is very, very tough. And then as a speaker or as a jury, you go to all these seminars, workshops, big conferences, and you find every single person sitting here claiming 100,000 lives changed. I always ask myself, I always ask all these people, that if every one of us is changing 100,000 lives, how come the life is not changing? And are we really honest enough to accept that there is something fundamentally wrong? Are we really ready to accept that there is something beyond full-page ad, big hoardings all across the country? Because the fact remains, the water is still not available, the toilets are still not available for many, many decades. Migration is not stopped, poverty is not gone, not even iota of that is gone. And this country does not lack in resources, whether it is human resource or natural resource. Many of us are sitting here with very beautiful intentions, but somewhere, I personally feel, the priorities are missing. Somewhere we are not able to see what is bothering us. I'll just give you a couple of examples before I go, just to give you something to think through and start looking at things in a different perspective. Today, if you go to a private school, which unfortunately in India are called public schools, which are hardcore private schools, every third, fourth kid you find wearing spectacles or glasses. If you go to a government school, a municipality school, a village school, how many kids do you see wearing glasses? All of us with our common sense understand that chances of their eyes being weak are much, much more. My question to all the doers and decision makers and opinion leaders and planning people is, education is hampering because the teacher-student ratio is wrong, education policy is wrong, or education is also hampering because the kid cannot see. At GOONJ, our stories are very emotional, but our work is hardcore logistics. We move about 3,000 tons of material from the biggest possible cities to the remotest part of the country. In the last 18 years, we have used thousands of trucks. We all know how Indian trucks are. Heat, dust, long working hours, no current, no light on the roads. In the last 18 years, I have not seen even 18 truck drivers wearing glasses. My question to the world is that accidents are happening because the dog comes on the road, as this is often said for the roads, or the roads are really bad, or accidents are also happening because the driver cannot see. Please understand, the issues of this country are totally different. What is seen is not an issue. What is invisible is the issue. And if we start talking about mosquitoes and stop making tall claims and discussing about malaria, I'm 100% sure things will change. The spectacles, the glasses for that kid or for the driver are mosquitoes. When we started working on cloth, 2004-05, we were about 7-8 years old. We realized that there is a acute shortage of clothing in this country. 2 women sharing one sari is the most common story. Blouse petticoat is a distant dream for crores, not millions, of women. We asked a very basic question. Every single woman across the globe needs a piece of cloth, which is now called sanitary pad. Very taboo subject. You go to the market, buy the best possible cup, the pad, ultra thin or whatever. The chemist will start wrapping from the counter itself because there is a culture of shame and silence. We ask that if you do not have enough to wear, from where and how you bring that piece of cloth. Why I'm talking about non-issues? If you would have gone on Google like me in 2004-05, you would have typed sanitary pad, sanitary napkin, any kind of synonym. The best possible tampons and cups from all across the globe were available, not even a single research in India, no problem statement, no solution. We were shocked, we didn't know even H of health. We were shocked because we thought that this is a country where you have huge amount of microfinance, self-help group, Anganwadis, everywhere the target is women. We said, how come the women is, we are not talking about it. We started traveling across the country and believe me, the situation is as it is. Let me explain in a minute. They use the dirtiest piece of cloth because for them it's a synonym of dirt. They wash it, they cannot dry it in sunlight because of obvious reasons. Then we found that in the race of development, to provide water, we put up public taps. Public taps in the name of public convenience are always put up at a public place. So there is no privacy even to take a bath. How do you really wash that piece of cloth? With moisture and dust, they wear that piece again. We found if you have 2 to 3 women and girls in the family, their cycles are different. They share the same piece of cloth. Not only in the family, it is also shared with the village. Millions is a small word again, is a very small number, just a population of a few colonies in India. Crores of women are using sand, ash, jute bags, rugs, rags, newspapers, dry grass, leaf, plastic sheet, used sanitary pad to cow dung. Anything and everything which can stop or absorb is used as a sanitary pad. We have cases where a lady used a piece of blouse which had a hook, she died of tetanus. We found a case in Tamil Nadu where a centipede entered and the lady died. These are non-issues. These are the mosquitoes. It's important, just the last message to you, that it's important to start talking about these non-issues. It's important to start taking action on these non-issues so that the life really changes. Again, I'm saying that what is visible is not the problem here. What is invisible is the problem here. Thank you very much.